All right, it says we're live.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. We have 3 members present. We have 1 via phone, Stacy Mullins and Kelly Gooden unable to attend. First up, we'll start with approval of the minutes. You've had the minutes presented. Any questions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passed. Can you turn our volume up on that? Next up, under financial matters, is our fund report as presented. And then we have approval of the claims. In addition to the claims that were provided on the claims voucher, there's been one added, submitted for approval from Old National Bank. It's on our one of our bonds through them, and the amount is $1,150. It has to have that included in the approval. Any questions on any of the other claims?
No.
Okay. Any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion. Any opposed? All right, motion passed. President's report, there's not been any activity on anything that I've been involved with for the last month. Did want to bring up something we could talk about, and I noticed last night as I was walking over to the school on the corner lot at stoplight, I noticed that some of the landscaping is getting worn down. Of course, time of year is not we're getting coming to the end of the season, so I don't know if we want to just wait till next year. But also, made me think about Manor Park parking lot, and wondered, I haven't noticed the condition of it. We talked about trying to add some gravel to it. I don't think we ever did. So little things like that, just kind of keep those things. If we have any ideas, I don't know if beautification has any thoughts on something on that we could help with, since it's our properties.
The shrubbery at Manor Park is growing. It's surviving, but the gravel could be topped off probably to make it look nicer.
Right.
As far as the corner 256 and 31, yes, it's aging.
The rock looks good. It's
Yes,
just that mulch.
It's-
And the bushes are getting a little
they're deteriorating, which,
scraggly too, even
Yeah.
just a little clipping with.
yeah, so I can have somebody look at it and see, but now is not a good time to plant, so
Right now, I'm just
it
thinking, I was
might have to
thinking
be
of
for spring.
okay. All right, committee reports. We have housing, no activity on the housing committee. Old business. We have nothing specifically listed. Jeremy, do you have anything going on?
I'll just kind of update you guys on North Allen. So as the Fuel Mart is getting ready to have their, I guess, grand opening for the new restaurant inside of there as well. I think they're looking at the 24th for that grand opening.
Hello?
The project, North Allen, the road specifically, is planned to be done. I think we're shooting for September 12th at this moment. Currently, the road is back open. However, I just wrote out there, they have one lane shut down as they're pouring the shoulder on the west side of the road. That shoulder should be completed this week, and then after that, it's really just kind of prettying it all up with more grading and striping the road.
Mhm.
So in the next 2 weeks, this road should be completed. And then Meadowbrook, I was gonna run out there after this. Last we talked to the contractors, it was about cutting the grass and putting some asphalt down at the entrance to that, so those last 2 homeowners don't have to drive over. That manhole had a little lip on it, and the road has a little bump, so just don't want those last 2 homeowners to have to drive over that all the time. I'm not sure if they've done any asphalt. I don't believe they have. So I'm gonna get a response back out to them that we need to get that completed for those homeowners. So,
Okay.
and I believe that's it.
And I believe they're going, have they started up right?
2, yeah, 2 going up.
Yeah, so I thought.
Yes.
Okay. Any other old business?
tried to contact the guy where it gives no return. I think Josh has said there's still stuff that gets that you gotta clear up, so he's not responding to my calls, left him 3 voicemails.
Okay.
We have, turned into Josh some places, one of them to be condemned, this is one up on Roll and First on the corner. We've been trying to purchase it, can't get him to cooperate, so.
Okay.
Update there.
All right. Any other old business? All right, new business. We have Ishmael White, representing the Parks Board.
Okay, first off, take this opportunity to thank the ARC on behalf personally and the Parks Board for your support and contribution to the DNR project at Broadway. It's finally nearing completion. We're about 2 weeks from completion. The grand opening is September 25th, 10 a.m. We'd like to encourage you all to attend, tell your friends. There's probably 2 little things. We gotta put the benches in place and get picnic tables. And also Spicertown. I would hope that Spicertown will be complete before snow flies. They've been really hitting it hard the last 3 or 4 weeks. The reason I'm here is now that those are over with, let's start anew. And this effort is on behalf, it's kind of a trickle down thing. It starts off with the National Fitness in this country, and then trickles down to the Indiana Association for Adult Health, and then down to us. It's a grant. I'm sure you've all seen the most excellent video that was provided.
Yeah,
Okay,
I said it on, they all watched it.
Yeah.
so that gives you a feel for it. Some of the things that's not in the video is southeastern Indiana is the focal point for 2026. Therefore, it's us. They are doing one at Aurora, Lawrenceburg, kind of in the middle of those 2 towns. You can't tell which one you're in at any given time. It's a 4-step process, and this is where I am kind of at the end of the first step, getting into the second step, really in the second step too, is leadership support. You know, going around and getting people like the city, the trustee, community foundation, ARC, NL, to see what they think about it. And also I'm going to reach out to Pepsi, Morgan, and Trihawk to, you know, and this is just really to get a pulse. Is this something that you think we need? Is this something you could support? That's the next question. Side and impact is definitely our focus has been up at Broadway, and probably to embed it with walking trail because it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's a fitness facility, 2 pieces. One side of it is really just a platform, 36 by 30, where you can do Pilates, exercise, yoga, dance, whatever you want to do. A wall, all kinds of stuff attached to that, and then out in an equal size area, 36 by 38, 7 stations to address all 7 components of the cardiovascular system. The third step is going out for funding match and then grant qualification. Probably the 2 things that makes us most qualified is first off is the age of the people in Scott County. You're amazed at the maturity of our county. Secondly, Scott County is 92nd out of the 92 counties in poor health.
Mm-hmm.
We're the worst. It's not something to be proud of. The overall effort, and you can size this thing to either be a Pinto or a Lincoln Continental. A lot of communities do not do the flat area, do the financial percentage, they just do the exercise area.
Mm-hmm.
There's one just recently finished at IU, straight across from the new football practice facility. So it's really nice. Had my daughter go over and take a look at it. Kind of interesting spot, straight across from the exercise facility. And some of their focuses, they don't want to put one in like at Clifty Falls or Hardy Lake. They want it embedded with as much saturation of population as possible so that people will use it. You know, they're there. All they gotta do is hop, skip, and a jump, and there they use it. It is a 2026 grant. It's not for this year, obviously for next year. I've been working closely with Brian Hudson out of Chicago. Actually met with him yesterday. Kind of interesting, his interest in it. Previous meeting I had with him was on Tuesday, and he goes, "Well, I was down in Austin over the weekend." What the hell? Pardon me out. I said, "What? You're in Chicago?" He said, "Well, I have family in Louisville. We were down for the weekend. I'm driving up 65 and I see the sign, Austin, 1 mile." So I just got off. He said, "Excellent." He said, "You know, in terms of location," he said, "couldn't pick a better, highly populated, tied in with all physical activity, you know, pickleball, basketball, softball, baseball, skate park, you know, so it's exercise. The effort, this gets complicated. That the grant they have goes from 30,000 to 60,000, but because we are a focal point, it could go to 100,000 because they've had more money for the focal point. Another source is, I think it's in the video, they flashed the 15 healthcare organizations up there. Sometimes they do contribute also, Humana, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Blue Blood. It's kind of an interesting process personally for me in that it's fast paced. They feel this 30 to 45 days to get the grant ready. The people that review the grant will do it in 3 to 5 weeks, not like a year and a half, like DNR and Washington. Cost variation, it can vary anywhere from 130,000 for half to, if you want to do everything, it could be $210,000. So I'm here, first off, to just ask you the question is, do you all think this is something our community needs or would benefit from? That's my check the box. I have to ask that. You know, that's community support. I mean, I've been very impressed with what I've seen and the people I've worked with.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Love it, awesome. Boy, I love those testimonials.
Yes.
And hope that it would be used, but it's, I mean, definitely can't use it if it's not there. And it's, seeing it is, you know, hopefully encouragement for those and, you know, just get more and more people in there and do it.
It's very low maintenance because it's really concrete metal.
Looks sturdy.
Yes, for 2025, they do have canopies. That's kind of one of the videos. The last slide is, oh yeah, canopies. They're new for 2025.
That's good.
And 2 areas, I mean, I go up to probably every day except Sunday. And we have like 15 walkers up there and they're mature and they're just super excited about it. And then the other one, which Clerk Treasurer Fugit can attest to, is the school utilizes that run trail for exercising and workout for Little League, or not Little League, but for cross country and track. So, you know, good place for them to get ready, loosen up, get the muscles going, and then they're running. So I think it's very interesting. Any other comments?
So you had Chris Fugit's gonna run it for you? I mean, was his cross-country kid, you could do all that, or not?
I can run it. Not with them. I can run it though. Behind them, I guess.
The middle school guy, I would not want to be on his team, man. He's, come on, go, I get scared. He's the go-getter, the big guy. But, yeah, it's, and that's the process. It's something lots of people have reached out to me in the last 5 years. Out the Gasway, probably 4 years ago, sent me pictures of all the exercise equipment in Chicago when she was visiting her daughter. Bishop, why can't you put these in? that's what I mean. That's kind of where we're going with it. The only financial thing right now is, and you know, this is another good thing. They are not casting a big net. If you don't have the community interest, you don't have the location, they're not interested in it, because they want winners, they want to win every one, they don't want to waste their time. The first thing, which is kind of a first step, is, in order to submit the grant, we need a $30,000 commitment from somebody along the way, and then the rest of it, yeah. But to actually submit the grant, we need a token, somebody said they'll put out $30,000. So.
And when's that submission date?
We really don't have a date, we're working on it, the timeframes, I've written down here somewhere. They usually take 45 to 60 days to complete the grant, and then submission, 2 3 weeks. So, I probably would ask you all, if you consider, and this is not money, you know, the money's not now, but it's in the 2026.
Right.
A 30,000 to start with, and then I'll shock you with, I probably will ask you for 125 for the whole thing. You always ask, hopefully you get it. You know, definitely seen some interest. I've already met with the trustee. He's very, very, very interested, and I think supportive. I'm on the city council meeting for the next meeting. I met with Jamie Topi yesterday, and she took me through all of the grants they have that this could be, you know, there could be an avenue for those, the restricted and non-restricted and personal focus. So there's some opportunity there. I'm waiting to go to the businesses, because I personally, you know, when you do that, the first question that usually comes out of their mouth and came out of my mouth when I was on the other side of the table is, well, just how much is the entity, the community putting in before you come and ask for me? So that's why I kind of want to do this first. And those are the 3 companies I'm focusing on. I got the contact information for Morgan's last night. Please don't ask me to pronounce their name. It's a 3-piece name. But just wanted to, first step, socialization. Second step, to share with you that we, somewhere along the line, will need some entity to offer a commitment of 30,000, and then the last step is the more specific.
So you said 120, is that the total cost of the project?
No, that would be your contribution.
So, yeah, so how,
The project is, you know, if you did everything, it's somewhere between 210 and 230.
and that includes installation and everything?
Everything, yeah.
Okay, and so you're saying with that exercise pad, we included?
Yeah, it's 210 to 230, 210 to 230. And the exercise pad is just, you know, a pad.
Mhm.
The expenses when you get over on the wall and all the equipment, that's what it's.
Well, you're saying it's an extra $80,000. You said the one piece was about 130, and if we do the whole thing, it's 210, so that pad's about $80,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that being optional.
Yeah.
I could see that being optional.
Yeah,
And is that
that's
something-
why, that's all I'll do.
Is that something that we could start off with, like the core part, and then if it goes well, then add the pad later?
Yeah, because it's just just a piece of concrete.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think you'll get full support, you know, for the 30. I'm just, you know, thinking, we'll see what everybody says, but, you know, at the same time, we need to know what the back end is, and to say that, you know, the 125, you know, you want to go in knowing that you can get what you need, and so we need to also have a feeling of where we're gonna be with it. And I don't know that, adding that extra pad for that $80,000 would be as supportive.
Yeah, and if you were doing a small one, obviously it would be 125.
Right.
Have a lot more money than I needed.
Yes.
But that's kind of, and I've seen pictures where they didn't do the other pad, and it's a, you know, down the road phase there, so.
Yeah, and that's, you know, if you think it's important as a park boards and to have it, so forth, if you can get support within the community to add that would be something, you know, I mean, doing some of those same things in the grass could be just as easily done, without that, without that pad.
Yeah, and then,
But that first main piece of the facility is spectacular. I love it.
yeah, and plan for it, and that's kind of a strategy. Hey, we think we got this. Businesses, do you think you could support the other? And another
And the
thing.
same thing is, if you think $80,000, that could go a long way on something else too.
It's, I think they segment it that way and segregate it that way, because a lot of people do it. And you can build on it, it's not like you've done something, you can't come back and attach to it.
Right, because I would think if you're gonna put the pad on there, you need to know that there's gonna be a commitment from organizations or groups that are going to conduct classes on it. Because that's what that is. A group of 2 or 3 people doing something, and I don't know if we have, instructional classes of magnitude that would be utilizing that.
The only example I could put there is, representatives from YMCA that have asked me a couple, 3 times to do yoga classes up there. And I said, well, yeah, fine. They said, are you willing to pay the instructor? I said, no.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, they can do that yoga on anything.
Thank you for your time.
How many people can do this at one time
Well,
on that, part that you're talking about?
well, like 10, 15, you got 7 stations. And then I don't know how many, arm, leg pull, runouts, along the wall. They're all attached to the concrete wall. So, 10, 15 people, at a given time.
You mentioned that the, grant amounts are 30 and 60, but for focal points it's 100.
Could be up to 100.
Is that, if they do the 100, would they then require the full amount, the full build out that project?
No.
They'll do the half or the 100, something.
That. And the other part of it we talked about yesterday is, to minimize the cost. I said, a lot of this work could be done in kind if you have city workers or people, to prepare the area, put down the gravel, things like that. You don't have to have that in the grant. They were very flexible for the DNR, this one we just finished.
Mhm.
So tight you couldn't move. But they said, yeah, if you want to come in and take out trees, landscape, take up earth, you can get that done outside the grant, that brings it down. Anything else? Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great idea. Let's get it done.
Get her done?
That's right.
Okay.
What's the timeline for pretty much funding and applying?
Yeah, you guys have the best question. Okay, because I asked that yesterday, no one you guys had. Okay, they says it takes, 45 to 60 days to get everything ready to submit the grant. And then typically, once you submit the grant, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, you can submit the grant, you can do this work in the fall, but it'd be submitted, like they said, December, January. And then probably work would start as soon as, time permits. It's not a long, time frame to install it and do it because it's pre-designed, pre-available, so it's not a year or anything. But yeah, they said to get everything done, and we started back here 3 weeks ago, is 45 to 60 days. And then once they submit the grant, and I said, just how long does it take a DNR to almost a year with other applications? They said typically, grant turnaround 2-3 weeks. And then so, it'd be real easy and not a lot of, speed to be ready to start as soon as weather permitted in 2026. Okay?
It's not hard.
Only.
So you're gonna be engaging with the other organizations also here
Well,
within the
yeah,
next month or two?
Already, no, they're a week or so. I've already talked to Community Foundation trustee, you, city council, a week or Tuesday.
Okay.
Then, start hitting those 3 businesses within the week from that, so.
And so, in getting the financial support commitments, what's your timeline on that? October, November, next month, September?
Right now, they're saying, which is to submit the grant, you only need a $30,000 commitment.
Right.
A token commitment.
Right.
So, and then once it gets approved,
And are you looking for that like next month?
Yeah.
Looking for that today? Looking
well,
for-
yeah, commitment today, if you wanna do it today, it's fine, next month is fine. Yeah. Before we submit the grant, so next 60 days,
Mhm.
somebody has to say, I would fund $30,000 in calendar year 2026.
Anybody that you've spoken to so far, do you have any commitments at all yet?
I really haven't asked,
Okay.
because I didn't realize that $30,000 was a prerequisite until my meeting yesterday at 3:00. Brian Hudson. He said, oh, yeah, because I'd asked him, and he goes, that's just to say, you've got one person, one entity that said they'll offer $30,000 before we submit this grant, so we got at least a token commitment, not all full commitment.
Sure.
And they're doing that to
Gauge it.
reduce the workload. If you can't get a community that offer $30,000, then why are they gonna waste their time?
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, that was on my notes from yesterday. Good question. And anecdotal, and this is for David's benefit, my wife looks at the video and she goes, do we have to put the IU logos on it? I said, no, because it was the one at IU, it read, all this stuff. She goes, do we have to put the IU logos on it? I said, no, I can put some blue on it.
Well, it depends on, hey, you gotta appease your funders too, and maybe your funders will require that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of anything else that we've done over at the park to where, once it's one of those, once you build it, they will come. I think our park's utilized very well, and it's something that everything that we have implemented has been made use of. I just think that has to be placed first in order for that. I think it's sometimes the concept ahead of time in those early on conversations are a little bit difficult to grasp. Sorry, but if, once we build it, I definitely think that things are utilized well. My main thing is just making sure that, we're not the only, we're not the only people who are, putting in the funds for it. And, if there's additional costs, that it's not gonna kind of come back on us, because we do have so many other commitments as well. I just want to make sure, that we're kind of balancing that with between all other projects and the needs within the community. But I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm about the same spot. I really like the idea. I just want to make sure that, I know we're already a little bit tight on budget. I'd like to see a couple other people asked as well. I mean, that doesn't mean I don't think we should, but I'd like to see other people committed as well.
Yeah, and the trustee, and not to get into elaboration, his commitment to me and the president of his focus, quote unquote, for 2026 is parks and fire department and safety. And there's other things that may help us and hurt him. If you read House Bill 1, he may be in a situation where he gets to do a major spin down. So we'll take it.
And I know too, there's been, other entities like factories and things, who have reached out in the past saying that, they'd be willing to support some of the initiatives that we have going on. So maybe that's something we go to them as well, because I'm sure they have funds that they have to spend per year to go back into the community. And I would say health related projects would probably be at the top of the list whenever it comes to that. So, maybe that's a source that's tapped into for a funding request as well.
Yeah, and their strategy, which they help feed me to, is, when I go to Morgan's and Pepsi and try out, why does this benefit you? You have a healthier workforce, they aren't off from work, your insurance is down because you're not having to pay for all these things that, knee replacements that exercise and work out wouldn't happen. So that's the hook
or the lead in to
Mhm.
the company.
Yeah,
You might also, if you know anybody with Norton's, run through them, see if they'd have any interest.
Well, and I'm not sure Norton's on, but in one of the videos, they put 50 healthcare organizations up there.
Yeah,
And the people who work with, will reach out to them to see if they are a funding resource also. They say oftentimes, like Humana, being their presence in southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, would be probably, somebody you'd wanna,
I say Norton and Shanks both.
yeah.
And that's direct connection to our communities there, so.
But they have like 50 logos on a sheet, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, good one.
maybe even Ivy Tech.
Norton's has grants. Norton's has grants.
All right. Any other new business?
I don't have any new business, but like at our next meeting, could we talk about, what we're gonna, like some plans for the old church building?
Okay.
Just kind of figure out what we can, kind of do with that and the maintenance of it as well.
Okay.
have we had that a year yet? It was last fall we bought that, wasn't
Coming out, yeah, I don't think it's
Last
quite been.
fall or
it? Like 10 months ago. Yeah,
Any,
I was gonna say it'd probably be something good to talk about.
any new business? Roger, you have anything? Nobody?
Did we ever get an answer on, I think Stacy had a question last month about the rental payments on the building over here?
Yeah. I haven't had anything come through as far as like a proposal or anything. I don't know if anyone else has, but, yeah, I don't know where we are with all of that.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the other thing we've already talked about, so, yeah. I guess that was kind of the other outstanding.
And do we still have intentions of putting some kind of mural on that building on the left?
It's kind of,
We talked about it last fall, I think.
well, we were actively looking at it two plus years ago. I don't know
Yeah.
how long ago it was. And I think some of it really boiled down to the idea of what it would be. Kind of coming up with something for that, but it's always still a good idea.
So we're still
I
open
was
to that.
thinking,
Yeah, there's a little bit of grant funds for that also.
I was kind of thinking of that the other day too. I know the last time that we had discussed that, we were, leaning pretty heavily on making it something that's relevant to Austin history, but are we open to doing something else, just making it, a beautiful piece of art or, something that's inspirational rather than focusing on Austin specifically?
I think, well, I would say at this point, anything's open for opportunity. And another idea I had was maybe even going the opposite direction and simplifying it, since the one on the right is complex. If we had two of those, it's quite a bit going on. If it was just something even simple, like the one in, you've seen in other communities, I've seen in other communities too, but I can't think of which ones, but Seymour has the, just Seymour, Indiana on a kind of like almost like it's painted as if it's on a sign. You could have something welcome to type mural and simplistic and just big and bold.
Even just trees or
Yeah.
creek or, just reminiscent of countryside or something, just real simple, our name, and I think it'd be a lot prettier than what we have.
Yeah.
I agree.
I was thinking even like that, not even that, just pure.
Just name.
Yeah, if you look at the one on Seymour,
So,
I had that picture of that one time, but it's it's simplistic, but it's big, bold, dark with, the background and then, the letters pop.
So there was, kind of what Jamie was saying. So here at work for me, we've been installing murals, quite a bit. So I've actually got three installs going on this week. But what I've noticed with some of the artists that we've been working with is they've been able to implement like nature and just like a beautiful piece that doesn't, it's more of an expression rather than anything, but they have a beautiful story that goes along with it as far as like the representation of it. So like one of them is flowers, but it represents the blooming of HIV care. So, even going into something like that to where it is kind of vague, because I think that's, taking a step back and looking into the artist aspect of it, that's kind of what they're good at, is putting art together and making it an expression of something that you don't really see. It makes your mind wonder and be curious. So even, I think that could even be something that would enhance and entice folks whenever they see it as well. But I think either way, something that, maybe we were just focusing too much on trying to implement the things that we notice that represents Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do take a step back, I think it might be a lot easier for us to get something installed.
Yeah, I agree. Something simple.
Mm.
And then we can look at the grant funding that's for that through the state. I think it was up to $3,000 last time we talked about it.
3,000?
Last time we talked about it, yeah.
Okay. We'll definitely need to put forth some more money then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can look into to see if there's some local muralists, regionally, I guess. It would have to be regionally, but.
Whoever did Crothersville Town Hall did a pretty good job. They painted it last year, I think.
With a mural?
I think so. I can't remember what it looks like, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, I thought of it, yeah.
I think he did all of them.
I mean, it's good. Yeah, that's where it fell apart, was just the, what we were gonna, the concept, the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. All right, so Stacy will look into that a little bit and we can have some, we talk about it next meeting.
Okay.
Any other new business? Or other business? We blend of the two. All right, so next meeting, we know we have one conflict.
The next meeting on the 24th.
The normally scheduled meeting, yes.
Yeah, I'll be out of town, and that means I'll also miss a couple of those ribbon cutting things, but for all that week too.
Yeah.
I think we should just go with Janie on vacation.
Yep.
Okay,
That's what I hear.
Daniel and I will welcome anyone, that's fine.
The only time that I can't do it in September is like for sure the 18th through the 18th through 19th. I'll be out of town.
We don't have a whole lot that I can think of coming up.
We push to October.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do the prior Wednesday. If we go to October 1st, that's still week before spring break,
Yeah, that's the week
Or
between.
fall.
Yeah.
You wanna try to do that?
Is that okay?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Works for me, okay. So September 24th, meeting moved to October 1st.
At noon.
You don't see anything? You gonna bring in lunch? There's nothing you foresee? I mean, it's only a week difference, so there's nothing, nothing pending that would require anything. All right. If nothing else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
So they don't have a meeting next month.